salvage yard. We're going to be picking up a really cool truck. This truck is the whole reason I found this place about a year and a half ago. I saw it from the road. It was chilling by the chain link fence way back. And anyway, it led into the investigation of this place. Met the owner, and then he wouldn't sell anything. And then almost a year and a half later, sadly the guy passed away, and we're coming back to buy up all the first gens. So we're going to be checking this truck out. It is a little bit gnarly. It's been sitting in water ever since a year and a half ago, maybe for dozens of years, I don't know. So we're going to be hopefully going to be getting it pulled out and loaded up on the trailer. Hopefully that all goes smooth, and then we're going to give you guys a walk around once it's back home and see what we can do with it. So stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting one. Keep it tuned. All right, made it back about a month later. That's what this place is looking like. Look at that. Look at this engine. Got to show you guys this. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this looks like a big old cat engine. Thing is gnarly. Yes, this is where it was laying. Right in here, and they just yanked it out right over that log. Crazy. All right, let's check out the aftermath of the tree. Whoa, that thing just wrecked this truck. Wow, that's looking pretty sad, guys. Let's check out the damage from the water. Oh yeah, it's been sitting a little while. Things are starting to rust. Look at that. It's got a big old chrome tip. It's not particularly good. I don't think that bed's savable. I think we're gonna have to push that back a little bit to be legal on the trailer. Ooh. It's got a gooseneck hitch. Yep, there it is. Oh, the door's like stuck. All right, see if we can get this thing loaded. Coming with the hook. Looks like they're trying to save some of these. The old International Scout all-wheel drive. Corvette with the checkered seats. It's still here. Can actually see the fence line now. Wow, crazy. All right, I'm gonna get the ramps down and see what we can make happen. Find a spot to hook this bad boy. I don't know. There goes the bumper. Gonna get out of the way. What's up, man?
Doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Is it a little rougher than what you thought it was?
It's up there. That tree got it pretty good. All right. See if I can open this truck. Man, they really smashed it. I don't know if this thing opens anymore, man. Yeah, they messed it up. Look at that attachment. That's pretty locked up, guys. Ooh, that is just sliding. You can just grab that claw and just shove that metal over just a little. Ooh. All right, let me zoom in on this. Oh. That isn't dangerous at all, guys. Oh. Man, it's just going sideways. This thing's about to fall off, bro. Hold on. Alrighty then. Here's all the goodies. I don't know what he's planning on doing. I'm gonna see if it'll turn or.
See if it'll turn.
Okay, I'm just making sure it ain't gonna get. Alright. Oh, it's locked up because there's no key. Not a chance. Not a chance. Yeah, no go because there's no key, so the steering column's locked. Alright. Got her loaded up. She's just a little sideways, so hanging off the side on the passenger. Got a new operator in there. We're gonna see if we can just get this thing over. I'm gonna get out of the way. All right, Cheesy back in the driver's seat. Perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Let's get it strapped down. All right. Let's get her chained down. All right, so we're heading back. We're about to get out of here. But yeah, let's get on the road. There it is. Old salvage yard. All right, here we are, a handful of days later. I want to give you guys a walk around now that the truck's on the trailer and you can see it a little bit better. There's that chrome exhaust tip. Somehow that made it. Wow, look at that. Just mangled. Yeah, those big machines do a number. That definitely wasn't there when we were searching around. All right, so kind of taking a better look at the front. Water was up to about half of the wheel there. You can see the water line where it had been rusting. So it's good news that this tire has rotated. Let's see, got a little bit on the engine pan. You can see on the springs, lower control arm, rotors, all that stuff. That is not a good sign. Things are starting to rust, but let's take a look at the other side. And it looks like this tire has rotated as well, so that's really good news. Maybe she'll break free. And kind of getting a little glimpse of under here. Maybe the water wasn't too bad. I don't know. We'll find out. When it comes back to the back here, looks like they must have just drug it right over that log. How it escaped the exhaust, I have no idea. Yeah, we need to replace all the tires. Who knows if this thing has fuel. So we do have a fuel neck. All right, it's going into the diesel tank there. Got a lot of sharp objects. This truck right here had a aftermarket transmission cooler mounted right up under the bed dealer installed. Needless to say, that is not in operation anymore. Ooh, looks like we do have a little bit of damage to the diesel tank, but yeah, we have a little bit of soakage right there. And the frame is smashed in a little. Ooh, look at that frame, guys. Well, will she run and drive? Not sure. We're about to find out. Will she drive straight? Probably not. Ooh. Old cheesy with the big excavator. Anyway. Still have a sending unit on top that's gonna hopefully deliver some fuel. Yeah, that doesn't look so good. Hopefully this thing can, yeah, it's all kinds of bent. It's not how you want your diesel tank to look, I promise you that. If you guys need a good OEM one, be sure to go to my website, KeepRTuned.com. All right, what do we got going on? Got a bunch of broken glass. Probably that window. My guess is they probably had this truck tipped up and all the glass came on over to here. And it looks like we found the injector lines. They're just kind of laying inside the floor, so I put them up here on the seat. This one looks like it's rusting up just a little bit. There's a bunch of random VE pump goodies in 1,000 pieces. Got the stock fuel pin, springs, internals, everything. Got everything here. Yeah, not sure why. Maybe the injection pump on this truck was swapped out and that was the original. I'm not sure. Got an extra radio. Again, a lot of cobwebs in here. This thing has been sitting for a long time. Yeah, let's check out under the hood, see what under the hood looks like. All right, look at that. Okay, so right off the bat, OEM air intake, stock turbo H1C. Let's see, stock radiator. I don't know what it is with the fans on all these first gens missing, but guy like taking all the fans off, I guess. Look at all that. Just shows you that thing has been sitting for ages. No belts. So looks like we'll have to put a belt on it. We don't have a battery. Got the connections. Everything looks like it's been pretty much connected there. Of course, we have injector lines that are missing. There's all 6 injectors. And then looks like rats made this place their home at one point. Let's check and see if there's any oil. Yeah, it's a little bit low. All right, see if we have any coolant in here. We have coolant. Yeah, everything else looks like it's on there. Got alternator, water pump, obviously missing the fan, but there's the hub for it. We got the harmonic balancer that turns the engine. We have AC compressor, belt tensioner. So everything's there. And it looks like the throttle linkage and bracket are all there. We just need to put a couple of those nuts back on. Here we go. There's the injection pump. And it looks like everything is there. We just need the injector lines. Yeah, this is it. This truck is pretty rough. Safe to say she's been sitting for a very long time. Looks like since 2009. But, all right, well, let's get this truck unchained. Let's get some new tires on it. Let's get her fueled up a little bit just in case that tank is leaking. Hopefully we can top it off and try starting it before it leaks even more. And let's see if this thing will fire once we put the injector lines on. So let's get it. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to hit the water and fuel on the fuel filter here and see if any diesel or water comes down. And if there is, we're gonna go ahead and prime the lift pump. Let's hit it. Yeah, got something coming out of there. Hopefully it's not all water. I smell diesel. All right, let's go ahead and hit that lift pump and hope there's diesel fuel that comes out of the delivery valves, kind of cleaning that out. And then we can work on putting on some injector lines. Probably gonna take a lot of pumps to fill that fuel filter back up. Looks like just that one. Well, that's good. It's making it all the way through the fuel filter over to the injection pump. And the injection pump isn't leaking anywhere on the actual pump. So those are good signs. I noticed that the shutoff solenoid right here is brand new. So I wonder if that's what they were changing out, if they were having issues with the shutoff solenoid. And so they probably removed the injector lines in order to get there. So that might be a hurdle we'll have to overcome if it's not wanting to crank over. It could be, even though the sensor looks new, it could be a bad shutoff solenoid. So in that case, we'll remove the plunger and spring and then put it back, and then you just manually have to shut off the pump. So with this manual shut off lever right here. So, all right, let's see if we can get this thing primed up. All right, so we know we're getting fuel. It's running through the injection pump, at least to one of the injector ports there for the delivery valve. How are the injectors? Let's check. Yeah, I'm gonna say they're not great. Got all that stuff that's gotten in them. Gonna have to bring the shop vac out here. I mean, they are slightly rusty too. I think it's gonna be a fun one trying to get this one to start. All right, so I went ahead, shop vac the top of the engine so it's a little bit cleaner. Checked out the turbo, cleaned out the injectors the best I could. One's looking good, two's looking okay, three maybe, it's halfway decent, four looks okay, 5 is partially plugged there, and then 6 rusted. So yeah, that's not good, guys. Probably needs a whole nother set of injectors to pretty much run. So that's what we're looking at. This thing's been sitting for a while, and unfortunately when the engine isn't covered up, things happen. So rust starts getting in. Now this truck did have the hood on the entire time, so that's a bonus. But yeah, we'll see if we can't put a couple injectors in and see what happens. All right, guys, so I thought I'd give you a little update. So since this truck is gonna be a little more difficult to start, I decided to roll it off the trailer. It wouldn't just roll, so we had to grab the skid steer with some chains, and we ended up getting it put in the field here. So here it is, just chilling. And what we got going on is late last night, I went ahead and swapped out some injectors. So I'm gonna show you the injectors that we took out, and you can kind of see how that one of the sides there is a little bit plugged, and then this one, you can see it's just so grimy, and that one, again, one of the holes is just plugged. And anyway, then this is the 6th injector in the back. See if I can show you. Completely plugged. Not even a pick would get that out. That is just rust, dirt, junk. Anyway, that wasn't good. So went ahead and put in some injectors that are some good used ones. Anyway, if you guys have any issue with your injectors, you can buy a set from me. Good used injectors, and they'll do you just fine. So boom, much better. So got all that done. Mosquitoes last night were swarming, tearing me up, but hey, it was worth it. Turbo is nice and tight. So the plan today is 2 things. Shut off solenoid. We know they were in there working on this because that thing looks brand new. So went ahead and got a 15/16 wrench. And while I'm already here, I'm gonna take that out, and I'm gonna take the plunger and the spring out. The reason being is if your shut off solenoid goes bad, you'll have to pretty much get to it. And as you can tell with, them taking off the injector lines and the throttle bracket and all that stuff, it's not fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out the plunger and the spring, and then that allows it to, even if it's bad, it'll still work, it'll still start up. Because pretty much if this shutoff solenoid is bad, then your truck won't start. It'll just act like it's wanting to, but it won't. So I'm gonna take it out, take the spring and plunger just to be safe, put it back in, and then this will be the manual shut off, as I was saying earlier. So that'll be legit. And then I got this truck right here that a kid owned, and he blew up the engine. It lost all the compression. It's done. Anyway, these are the old injector lines that came with that truck, but they removed all the clamps and just absolutely just kind of left them there. And I'm sure most of them are decent, but again, there's a little bit of rust on them, and I just don't want to mess with it and figure out which one goes to which. And when I have a perfectly good bad engine here that we can just crack the 17s, get the injector lines off, hit a couple 10 mils, take it off the pump right there, boom, transfer the line straight over. Then we know they're not rusted, because obviously this truck's a little bit oily. So anyway, we'll go ahead and prime the lift pump, and we'll put a hot battery on, and we'll try to get this truck to Cheech. All right, there we go. See the plunger and the spring right there. Take that out. There's the spring, and there's the plunger. And then we are going to reinstall this. And again, the key will not, if you take this out and remove the spring and plunger, your key will not work to shut off the vehicle. You'll have to manually shut it off. That's why you have this lever right here. And then some people, they will grab like a shut off cable and tie it to the bottom right here, and then pull that inside the cab. Just run it through one of those grommets and then shut off their truck if they're having solenoid issues. One of my daily trucks, anyway, it would eat these things like crazy. So we'd warranty them out and everything, and it just kept eating them. So I just got tired of it, and I just put a pull cable. And anyway, so let's reinstall this. And we are currently working on injector line removal. Let's get it. All right, so we got a progress update. She now has injector lines. It's looking a lot better. And they are lightly threaded on the injector side, because we need to bleed the injectors. Now has a throttle bracket, has the shut-off solenoid put back in without the plunger and spring, wires hooked up, and throttle cable good to go. Got the throttle linkage. I'm going to be putting this intercooler pipe back on whenever I have two hands. We'll check the oil, and it looks like we need to add some oil. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of oil before we fire this beast up. And we need to go back there and grab the battery anyway. All right, so we went ahead and added some oil. We're all good now. And then got a hot battery. Just gotta finish putting on the connection. Make sure that's nice and tight. We'll get that a little bit tighter. I think we're gonna leave the air intake off. I'm not sure how dirty that filter is. And then we're gonna bleed the injectors. So let's get it. Here we go. There it goes. There it goes. Come on. Can't see out of these dirty windows. All right, so we got no pressure on the lift pump. Love that. Not sure why, but I guess let's just try cranking this truck over. See if we can't get any fuel to these injectors. Climb all the way in. Turn this key to the run position. There we go. Plenty of battery juice. And he's going. It's spinning over. Starter's working. Come on. Yeah, it's not getting any fuel, man. Is it going now?
Maybe.
Oh, hey. We got fuel at 3 injectors. Check that out. The back 2 and this one, those are the 3 injectors that we replaced. Dang. All right, try cranking it over. Okay. There we go. Now we're getting fuel to that injector,
We're just missing the first two. Let's try it again a little bit. All right, we're getting feel to the first one. It's just that second one. Yeah, let's try loosening that. A little bit of air bubbles are coming out. Nothing on injector number 2. Oh, it's getting a little. It's starting to get a little wet. All right, let's try it again. All right, priming the lift pump just a little bit more. Tighten these injectors down a little. There's not enough pressure. Let's hit it.
We got diesel spraying from the pump.
Yeah, it's probably not connected all the way for that injector, dude.
All right, went ahead and tightened the top injector line right there.
And we're turning the key back on to the run position. See how she goes.
Still leaking. See if I can get a close-up video for you guys. Try right there. Let's see. This view will be better for you guys. Let's see, here we go. Yeah, it's just dripping real bad.
All right, so basically what was happening is this injector line right here was a little bit loose. So when we were getting on it with the 17, it was pretty much pushing against that wiring right there. And then the delivery valve that it's connected to started to rotate. I'll zoom in on that for you right there. So I went ahead and got a wrench and put that on the delivery valve, and then it was already really tight, but hopefully backing it off a little will cause it not to leak. So let's find out. Here we go.
No, it's still leaking. Yeah, it's leaking.
Wonder if that's why they have this injection pump in here. Just chilling. Check this out, guys. Also, we can't get in the driver door, so we're having to, anyway. But yeah, look at all these delivery valves that are just chilling here. Whole injection pump just torn apart, seals, everything. I mean, that's why literally the delivery valves, they had all torn apart. I think this injection pump might be a little bit faulty, is why we have a whole box of injection pump parts. It's never a good sign when you're buying a first gen if you have a spare pump just torn down to nothing. And we know it's not the shutoff solenoid. We know it's that, not that. It's just leaking, and then it's not letting us have enough pressure for the injectors. So that's really frustrating, but sometimes that's how it goes. I think this is probably gonna be one of those engines where we'll have to take out of the truck and then, hoist it up on the engine picker and start replacing stuff, and hopefully, maybe that delivery valve, maybe that'll fix the problem. Maybe it's leaking from that nut right there in the center. I don't know. But she definitely has a really bad leak. I can promise you that. It's not good. So we'll try it one more time. We'll see where she's leaking from. All right, we got run position. Okay, here we go. Let's try zooming in a little bit for you guys. All right, here we go. All
Yeah, it's just spitting out of the pump in the back of that delivery valve and then just leaking. That's not good. It's leaking from the injection pump. But hey, we did end up getting injector number 2 to start getting a little bit of fuel, starting to get just a little bit soaked there. So we're getting fuel to all the injectors. There's just not enough fuel pressure pushing out of the pump in order to get fuel to through the injector lines and then to the injectors, to the engine. So this truck might be a wrap, guys. I really wanted to get this thing running and driving for you guys. We got air in the tires. We made sure there was fuel. There's all kinds of carnage and mayhem back here. But sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes these trucks are on their last leg and we get them in and they're good for one thing and one thing only, parts. So yeah, sadly this truck, especially with frame damage, is pretty much toast. So, but hey, still a really cool truck, still has awesome parts. Hopefully we can get the engine pulled out of the truck and get it running smooth. And hopefully someone can throw this in a nice OBS Ford, Chevy, or hey, maybe another first gen if they're having issues. So, all right, that pretty much wraps up the video. Thank you guys for watching. Unfortunately, we didn't get this truck to run and drive. Sometimes the injection pump just needs to be taken off and sent to a professional to rebuild. I think in this case, that's what went down, but that's all right. Sometimes it ends like that. Anyway, this truck was awesome. We literally saved it from the crusher. If it would have been a handful of days later or even a month, this thing would have been crushed. So I'm grateful. Some of these parts are going to be going to amazing places. Who knows? Could be going to one of your trucks. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys haven't already, like, subscribe, comment below what you thought, and we'll catch you on the next one. Keep her tuned.